A pleasant day to the young and enthusiastic learners. I'm Dr. Shobha Edward, Principal, Associate Professor and Head of the Department of Corporate Secretaryship, KCS Kasinada College of Arts and Science, here to give a presentation on regression. So now going on to the problems which can be solved in regression. We have a question where x bar is given, y bar is given, standard deviation of x, standard deviation of y, and the correlation coefficient r is given. We are expected to obtain x and y. So first we find bxy, r, standard deviation of x by y. Substitute the values, get the value of bxy. Then byx, which is r, standard deviation of y by standard deviation of x. Substitute the values and get byx. Now going on to the equations, x minus x bar is equal to bxy into y minus y bar. Same way, y minus y bar is equal to byx into x minus x bar. So substitute the values that are there. We have x bar, we have y bar, and we have already found out bxy and byx. Now going on to the next stage, we are expected to solve these two equations. So only if these two equations are in a similar form, we would be able to cancel one value, either the x value or the y value. So we have multiplied the first equation by x so that we get it in a common terms. We have subtracted the two equations, solved it, and found the value of y. When y is 67, we are supposed to find the value of x. We have substituted y equal to 67 in the first equation, and we have got the answer as x as 65. Now we shall move on to a similar situation where again x values, y values are to be found, and they want us to find the two regression equations. Arithmetic mean of x, arithmetic mean of y is given, standard deviation of x, standard deviation of y is given, and the regression coefficient is given. bxy is r, standard deviation of x by standard deviation of y. byx is r, standard deviation of y by standard deviation of x. We have substituted the given values and we have found the two coefficients. The two equations, x minus x bar is equal to bxy into y minus y bar. Substituting the given values, we get the equation x equal to 0.91y minus 77.35 plus 36. We have substituted it further and we have found the value. Next equation, y minus y bar is equal to byx into x minus x bar. So while solving this equation, we come to a conclusion where minus 0.48x plus y minus 67.72 is equal to 0. So these two equations are found by substituting the values. Now they have given us two regression equations and they want the mean value of x and y. So first, equation 1, as I already told you, this equation is 2x plus 3y and the next equation is 5x plus 4y. So we are expected to make a common term. So this we are trying to make y common. So if we make it as 12y, both the equations as 12y, we will be able to cancel the values. So we have multiplied the first equation by 4 and the second equation by 3. While multiplying the first equation by 4, 2x into 4 becomes 8x, 3y into 4 becomes 12y, and 7 into 4 becomes 28. So this is how we get the equation. Second equation is multiplied by 3. 5x into 3 is 15x, 4y into 3 is 12y, and 9 into 3 is 27. So this second equation is also there. Now we are going to subtract the second equation from the first equation. So we have changed the signs of all the values. The first value becomes minus, next also minus, and 27 also becomes minus. 8x minus 15y is minus 7x. 12y minus 12y gets cancelled. 28 minus 27 is 1. So x is equal to minus 1 by 7. Now going on to our equation, 2x plus 3y is equal to 7. We have substituted the value of x and we have got the equation as minus 0.28 plus 3y is equal to 7. 3y is equal to 7 plus 0.28. 3y is equal to 7.28 and y is equal to 7.28 by 3, which is 2.42. So we found the value of x and we found the value of y. Here bxy is given, byx is given, and standard deviation of x is equal to 3. So we are supposed to be calculating the correlation coefficient r. R is equal to bxy into byx. So now for finding the correlation coefficient, we have r, we have put both the regression coefficients, multiplied it, found the square root, so r is found out. Now byx is equal to r into standard deviation of x by standard deviation of y. Same way, byx is equal to r standard deviation of y by standard deviation of x. So we have substituted the values. Standard deviation of y is the missing value. So to find out standard deviation of y, on substituting all the other values, we get the standard deviation of y value as 2.67 divided by 0.87. So standard deviation of y is 3.07. A similar situation which we've already seen. It's a repeated question, so I thought I would show it to you again. The mean of rainfall and the mean of production is given. Standard deviation of rainfall, standard deviation of production is given, and the coefficient of correlation is given. So byx is found, bxy is found, then x minus x bar is equal to bxy, y minus y bar. Same way, y minus y bar is equal to byx, x minus x bar, and we get two equations. Now substitute x equal to 40 in equation 1. The question is, find the most likely production corresponding to rainfall of 40. Rainfall, we can assume rainfall as x. So when x is 40, what is y? So we have substituted the value of x as 40 in this equation. So y is equal to 1.28 into 40 plus 5.2. Y is equal to 56.4. We have substituted x equal to 40 in equation 1 as well. So x is equal to 0.5y plus 10. So 40 is equal to 0.5 into y plus 10, and y is equal to 60. So this is one such situation where we are finding a missing value. Again, x bar is given, y bar is given, standard deviation of x, standard deviation of y, and r. This is one such similar problem, so, and where you have to find the value of y when x is 12. So we have already seen repeated number of problems in this type. So I am just brushing through this. Byx, bxy, substitute values. Then the two equations, x minus x bar is equal to bxy into y minus y bar, and the other equation y minus y bar is equal to byx into x minus x bar. Then substitute the value of x in equation 1 as well as equation 2 and find the value of y. One more similar type of a problem where x and y values are with regard to arithmetic mean, standard deviation is given, and the correlation coefficient is given, and you are expected to find the two regression lines. The two regression lines means the two regression equations. So this can be a trial on your end with the study that you have done so far. Now, here is a situation where x values and y values are given, and we are expected to find the two regression lines. So x values are given. We are supposed to find x bar. X bar is sigma x by n. Sigma x is 480 by n 80. So 8, which is 60. Then you are supposed to find y bar, which is sigma y by n. Sigma y is 552 divided by 8, which is equal to 69. So now using the actual mean method, sigma dx dy by sigma dx squared into sigma dy squared. So dx is nothing but x minus x bar. So from every x value, you will be subtracting the x bar that you found. So 57 minus 60, which is minus 3. 58 minus 60, which is minus 2. 59 minus 60, which is minus 1. And so on. Same way, dy is equal to y minus y bar. That is, every y value, you are going to subtract y bar. So 67 minus 69, 68 minus 69, and so on. So dy. Dx squared is nothing but the square of the dx values. So minus 3 squared is 9, minus 2 squared is 4, minus 1 squared is 1, and so on. Dy squared is nothing but the square of the dy values. Dy squared. Minus 2 squared is 4, minus 1 squared is 1, and so on. So dy squared. Dx dy is nothing but dx into dy. Minus 3 into minus 2, which is 6. Minus 2 into minus 1, which is 2, and so on. So get the totals of dx squared, dy squared, dx, dy. And substitute the values over here. 24 divided by root of 36 into 44. So we get the value as 0.603. Then bxy is equal to sigma dx dy by sigma dy squared. So while substituting, you get the value of the coefficient as 0.545. Same way, byx is sigma dx dy by sigma dx squared. Substitute the values and get it as 0.667. Now the equations of x on y, x minus x bar is equal to bxy, y minus y bar. So x minus x bar, we already found 60. bxy, we just found out 0.545, and y minus y bar was already found. So you solve and you land in an equation x minus 0.54y minus 22.395 is equal to 0. Then going on to the next equation, y minus y bar, byx into x minus x bar. Substitute the values and get the equation. So these are the two equations that you arrive at on substitution. Thank you and have a smart and happy learning.